One thing I've learned from being in prison firsthand is that it doesn't work. When you're released, you go back to where you come from, back to the same crowds as before, and back into the cycle. It's only a matter of time before you re-offend and you're back in the same jail cell that you come from. There's very little help for people doing 3 to 6 month sentences. We just get released, the same people we were when we went in. You go in for stealing a Ford and leave knowing how to steal a Porsche.
I started committing crime when I was 17 to pay for my drugs. And I was arrested and remanded, but was released. The trouble was, I was with the same people, in the same place, and continue with drugs and crime. I was doing burglaries to keep me going with heroin. I was arrested and then sent to prison for 15 months. I was 18 at the time. When I got out of prison, I went back home. I didn't care about anything. I got my own place, but still I had the same friends. I got back into drugs. As soon as I was back into drugs, I got into crime.
A few years ago, my mum stood in the court and asked the judge to send me to prison to try and sort me out. Now she was writing to the judge to ask for a real chance to stop re-offending, and writing to her MP and asking Amber for help. I read about Amber and felt that it was a real opportunity to sort all this mess out and be my break to success. The judge asked for someone from Amber to come to the court to explain about the work that they do and to convince them that he should not sentence me to 3 years. They did come to court, and the judge must have liked what he heard, because he was sending me to Amber rather than prison. But this was my one and only chance, and if I messed up I was facing 3 years behind bars.
I've been there 4 weeks. I come straight from prison. 4 weeks ago I didn't think I'd be standing there giving a talk. The first day I did not like it at all. It was not home. I didn't know anyone and I haven't seen my family. I found it very hard. The next day I went out to the salt course, which was fun. Got to know some of the people there, and it didn't seem so bad after all. Now I think it's a great place. I'm doing fine and coping, having come off drugs. I feel good about myself for the first time for a long time. I want to get a trade. My dad was a plasterer and I think I'd like to do that. If Amber hadn't been there, I would have gone back home when I got out, which would not be good. If I went back home, I would have got with the same friends back into drugs and crime. They said if I got into trouble again, I'll be facing between 5 to 9 years in prison. My sister has visited me at Amber, and I'm still in touch with my dad. And I know if I go home and get in trouble, and I need to sort myself out, and I can't do that at home, I need Amber.